sign it, nobody's my petition, so he just filled in my petition, my name on the petition, he had everybody sign. He comes back to town, he said, you're gonna be an ex-councilman. I said, I didn't fill out anything. He said, I filled it out, and signed it in. He filled out everybody, he didn't have to sign, fill that one. He had signatures, and when he got down there in the courthouse, he put the names in the top of the petition.
Oh, don't do that to me, Billy. I got too many kids for that. Jeez.
All right. 6 o'clock.
What are you doing, Jimmy Clark?
Everybody turn your microphones on, please.
Jimmy Clark.
Joan?
Yes, sir, I'm on.
Joan, Jay Sean, Al Young.
I'm on.
Okay. Good work, Mayor. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for the beautiful weather you're giving us. Help us conduct city business in a way that would be beneficial to this town and you and all the things we do through you in life. These things we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I want to say something about that. I was trying to go to Washington and see the the big state fair going on up there. You know what they did today up there? All the inventions that made America, made us big, like the light bulb and all that, they had all that stuff out on display up there. We need to go up there and see all that stuff. Got the original, what is it, that we run under, Declaration of Independence, what is
You
it?
talking about the telegraph and all that stuff?
All that stuff, they've got it out on display up there down at the mall today. Kind of a neat deal. Roll call?
Alan. Here. Chase. Here. Jimmy.
Here.
John.
Here.
Minutes for May 26th. May of 2026.
The first line needs to be fixed. I was not absent last meeting. Please.
You're right. I will correct that.
That's fine, as long as it's known I was here.
Okay, mark out absent, and the president there. All right.
I'm good. I was absent and spoke on the
You made a motion.
agenda. That's even better. I was remote. I make a motion to approve as presented, just with the exception of the change in that one. That's it.
I have a motion to accept the minutes with the exception of Jimmy Clark was present instead of absent. Roll call?
Jimmy.
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll let Jason go over the balance sheet for May.
First page in the package is the general fund balance sheet. Not much change from last year. The next,
What about animal control expense? It's up like
I ain't got there yet.
Oh, I thought it was on this first page.
It's not the first page.
Oh, you on this one? I got you. Okay.
Second through the third page, P&L for year-to-date through May, year-over-year comparison. It's like we've taken in about $24,000 more than we did last year. And we spent quite a bit less, but that's mainly because the park expense was in last year, $138,000.
And that won't be reoccurring next year.
Alan, I believe the question you had was around the incinerator.
Yeah.
purchase.
That's
Yeah, it's on the
expense.
second page,
Yeah.
it's
That
up
was
like
incinerator.
400%.
Yeah, that's the incinerator version.
Okay, alright. I got you.
Next page is the P and L budget to actual. Sorts it like this. Went back and changed and sorted it. Still
Did it, Aaron?
did it anyway.
It's the right page.
Ben we're almost halfway through the year. We're at 41.5% of total income, so pretty well on track. We are ahead on some of the expense categories.
Yeah.
Nothing that we didn't expect. The street fund balance sheet is the next page. Again, just about $24,000 less than last year, total assets. The next page is the P&L year to date. We're actually ahead of where we were this time last year. Even though we're about 11,000 under in income, we're 25,000 under in expenses compared to this time last year. Which a lot of that is we got a truck. It's $7,000 which we haven't done this year. Although we have had some extra maintenance and other things due to the ice storm, so we're still. Budget to actual is the next page. The reason it looks like we're way behind on income is the government grants, 500,000. We are a little behind on sales tax.
Sales tax is down right now, a little bit. The state, if you look at state, it's down a little.
Do you see anything in any of this that's memorable?
Nothing looks of any concern. Sanitation balance sheet is next. We actually are a little more than we had this time last year. The May to May comparison is on the next page.
Look at the minute, did they sign those?
Then the budget, the actual is on the next. We're ahead in income. Just bear in mind the two CD items for income and expense. Sanitation. The difference between those two numbers is interest income. Those are gonna be taken out.
Oh, okay. So that 72%, that's why it's high? Okay.
Got an extra 117.
Okay.
Water and sewer balance sheet, next page. And I will say that the bond entries for May have not been made yet because they did not send us the correct reports to make those entries with. And when I called them today, they sent me some spreadsheets that I can't have details out of. So we're gonna make another call.
We're actually 2 months behind on entries, right?
Oh, no, we made the entry made for last month, but not for one of the entries. We told 1 month total
1 month back.
on the bond stuff,
Really?
which is the biggest
Billy.
moving part in this balance sheet. The next report is the P and L year-to-date comparison through May. We're about $192,000 ahead. But that includes $306,000 grant that we got.
The sewer work for the grant.
ANRC grant for the, can't think of what it's for.
Look at me
You
like
mean
I don't
the
know
UV
what
lights?
you're I'm a new guy.
Did we get that check already?
Well, we got $306,500.
Was that,
No, that's part,
that's, isn't that the, on the sewer draw?
that's the sewer draw.
That is
Is it-
that's your engineering fees and lawyer's fees on the sewer
Attorney
project.
fees, yes, which you'll see why those are higher too.
That's the money,
$171,000 in engineering
and then the
and
lawyer's.
$35,000 in legal.
That was the first draw on the sewer project. You're gonna approve the second draw tonight. The money has not hit the bank yet, but I'm gonna get y'all approved so that can get paid.
Those are the biggest differences from last year to this year.
You're gonna have $4 million, almost $5 million worth, well, they don't start the project at the water plant this year. You're gonna have the UV light, $499,000, that's a grant that come in and out and do that, and then you got the little over $4 million sewer project. That will not finish this year. You won't, probably, I say, he could get in here and get to work, I don't think it's a year and a half project, so I don't think he's gonna be through it this year.
The last report is the budget to actual. Again, that's kind of skewed because it's got the whole $4 million for the sewer, $3.7 million for the water plant on the income side, and also we've not even gotten close to getting that much done. And
That's
it's
actually
offset
the
on the expense side too.
What they spend will be getting a check for each month, so both those may not even come in all this year, the total amount. All right, any questions on the balance sheet?
I'll make a motion to approve it. That's presented.
A motion, a second, roll call?
Alan?
Yes.
Chase?
Yes.
Jimmy?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Rest of these are, next several is gonna be invoices that were done. Trash propane for a propane tank. And, for the propane, the CDs are on there.
Yeah, we got 8 of them coming up next August.
I'll be sending out.
Yeah, I figured you
bid
would.
sheets probably in
I'll make a motion, we approve this thrash deal. It's just bill.
Okay, Thrash is the propane tank we added at the we put a new generator in at the lift station at the cemetery, and that is the tank part.
I second that one.
A motion is second to accept Thrash propane invoice for $5,037.11. Roll call.
Alan?
Yeah.
Chase?
You
Jimmy?
said cemetery? Yes.
John?
You said cemetery, okay.
The next one is S&S Plumbing, bore on Mountain View Road and bore on, Highway 70 for sewer up here. That was to get, a customer hooked back up on sewer that several years ago when they did sewer up out of the fairgrounds, that building,
Next to
they
Kyle.
filled their line full of concrete and didn't hook the tap up. So we got a lot of city labor in that on top of that board. That's $6,400 for those 2 taps, or bores. That's just,
Do we have any idea what
I'll
we're
second it.
spending a year on board? Just roughly?
he's $3,000 on this normal bore, he's doing over about $3,000. And we have done more bores this year than we've done, we've had more new customer connections this year than we've had in probably 3 years combined, which is a good thing.
Sure.
But, so our bores are running more this year because we've done a lot more.
TJ was doing them cheaper too.
And so was the other guy.
Yeah.
And both those guys are out of business.
Yeah,
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second that. I think Stan's gonna still be in business if this is over.
Roll call.
Allen,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Chase.
He
Jim.
is
Yes.
actually boring a whole street for us today. This board ain't gonna replace all the lines on it. They've been, remember how many times we worked on that street this year with the water leaks? 4 times it, and it's, but anyway. Okay, the north side power for the 13,948 is for the generator at the cemetery.
This one is?
That is for the generator. I called y'all all on that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you did.
Y'all would,
Motion to approve.
We don't, none of us remember that.
okay. Have a motion, have a second.
I will, second it.
Roll call.
Allen.
Yeah.
Chase. Jimmy.
Yes.
Yes.
The next one is RBIS, and I talked to Robert, and we're gonna see if we can get some stuff changed on this. All of the work that RBIS billed us for this month was work we called electrician direct for, and he still billed it through RBIS, and they're billing 15%. I'm gonna see if we can get that. That's an electrical company that should bill us yourself, unless it's a job we're doing with RBIS, and we could be doing jobs with RBIS where we need to pay the electrician through RBIS. But Robert's gonna try to make sure that that gets billed next month. But if you look at that, those were all 5, actually those should have been individual invoices. Because those were 5 different projects that had to be done in this month. If you got any questions on any of them,
The Hilltop was the lightning strike, right?
Hilltop was a lightning strike, yes. The sewer plant on the blowers at the bottom of the hill, that motor went out, the breakers all had to be rebuilt. The drying bed controls down there, they were in probably 30 years old, and they finally just bit the dust. And then the water plant had an air compressor tripping out. And that was up to, that first bill for 932 was at the water plant. Hilltop and the other 3 were all at the sewer plant. And we've got some more work going on the sewer plant right now. We've got some valves broke that we're getting fixed.
Everything's working, they done, no. I mean, I noticed it was tripping breakers, different.
All of this
that's
stuff is
working.
fixed. Everything you're looking on this bill's finished. and
Yeah,
finished,
it's
yes.
done.
All 4 of these projects are fixed. You really should be voting on those on separate invoices, but he put it all on one invoice. Do you have a motion for RBS?
Make the motion.
Second,
Yeah.
roll call.
Allen.
Yes, sir.
Chase. Jimmy.
Yes.
Yes.
The next is this is actually the first draw for the contractor. That 300,000 that you saw, what did 300,000 a while ago? That was for the lawyer and engineering fees. This draw for $474,705.41 is for stored materials, and what got done this month, what work got finished this month. He gets paid for stored materials, and then his stored material cost comes back off on his next draw, and he just gets paid for the labor. So you send a big, he's getting paid for stored material that's not installed yet.
Do we have any way of, like, any checks and balances on that?
It's on this sheet.
No, I'm saying, like, if I understand you right, we're paying for lumber to go on the house while it's sitting there, and then we're pre-ordering and stuff, and then we're going back and doing it. So they seem like, I will say this, they seem like they're doing a really good job around what they've been working on, seems like a really good company. But,
Yeah, if you look at your sheet, it's
Yeah, I see
spelling
it
out
on
exactly
here.
what he's got done, and what he's got done will come off of his stored material price each month. That will, the stored material price will all end up being used at the end of the job. But he doesn't get paid for they deduct the price of the pipe that he's paid for in stored materials off of his draw.
And the way he explained it to us in the construction meeting, them manholes have to be pre-made, so he orders them sections ahead, so he's not waiting.
Yeah, he
Right.
may, now like, and he won't get paid for stored materials anymore, like if he.
Yes.
If he got pipe in and he got probably 2 truckloads of manholes in. From now on, he'll have to eat that manhole, those manholes
yeah.
for 60 days till he gets paid, because he's a full 60 days. He gets paid once a month, and then it's about 30 to 45 days before we can give him a check. We turned in this bill, what, and hasn't got his money moved to him yet, and we can't pay him this $474,000. It's supposed to, they told us it'll be in our bank account on the 2nd. And then we'll give him this check. He's not getting this check till we get the money. But, we'll get the check on that, hopefully on the 2nd, and it'll hit our bank account, and then we'll give you the money on this. And you will be getting a pay request for whatever work he's done once a month, and we'll approve that once a month. They've already approved the $4 million job, but
Yeah.
it's paid on pay.
What'll get you on these jobs is the change orders. He had no change orders, nothing else.
I doubt you see any change orders.
We
This
should.
is this job right here, and this is what everybody in town needs to understand that don't want us in their front yard. We're not putting a new sewer line in anywhere. We're replacing a collapsing sewer line in your yard. Somebody already gave the city an easement for that whenever that line was put in, and all we're trying to do is get back in there, and the contractor's doing a real good job of getting things cleaned back up, and he's not through. When it rains and settles all this down, I guarantee he's gotta go back. He knows he's gotta go back. But we've gotta get, I know a lot of people are not happy with us coming through the yard and messing the yard up, but we don't have any choice. So I just need y'all to approve that, change order, if you will. This will be change order number 2.
I get
Ma'am,
Yeah, estimate.
estimate number 2, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a change order.
Not a change order, it's
Yeah.
estimate, excuse me.
I make that motion. You said change order.
It's
like,
not a
whoa.
change order, it's just, this is how they get paid, and I said change order, it's not a change order.
I
it's
second
just a-
that.
Johnny, he just gave us a speech on how there would be no change order.
There's not a change, I said change order, it's estimate. It's actually a worksheet for the work that's complete, I'm sorry.
I second Alan's motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, roll call.
Alan?
Yes, sir.
Chase? Jimmy?
Yes.
Okay, CDs, we need to approve each one of those. These are CDs that's already been bought, and I thought we already had the approval from, I thought the banks already had the letter from us, but would y'all go through there and approve those CD numbers?
First one's the one we did last month or month before, and evidently she's lost the
Minutes.
approval. So we're gonna vote on it again.
Yeah, so would y'all approve?
I make a motion to approve CD purchase 53-21735, 129,000.
Have a second?
Yep.
Roll call?
Alan?
Yes.
Jimmy?
Yes.
Johnny?
Yes.
Chase?
Yep.
The next one would be CD 5100758.
Make a motion.
I'll second that.
Have a motion, a second, roll
Yes, sir.
call?
Alan? Chase?
Yes.
Jimmy?
Yes.
Johnny?
Yes.
And, then the next one would be CD 5100759.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
You second, Jimmy.
Yes.
Roll call.
Alan?
Yes.
Jimmy?
Yes, sorry.
Johnny?
Yes.
Chase? And while we're here, let's vote on the $500,000 CD that we're creating from the revenue account. We approved it last month. but
Yes.
it just so we can put it in these same minutes. It'll go to First State Bank at the 4.01.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
How long was it for?
20.
That's good.
He says 500.
Moving it from the revenue account to the
Okay.
CD.
Have a motion, and who made?
I made it, he seconded it.
Second?
Alan?
Yes.
Stacy?
Yep.
Jim?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Okay. The CD's moving to where?
First State.
500,000 moved from Diamond to First State. The 10 and 11, those are staying at First, they're already at First State. And the 129, so it's already there.
Okay.
Is that the ones we moved early last night? Oh, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yes, sir.
Johnny Cox.
I'm gonna defer to Miss Rhonda, let her go for me.
For the sake of the video, my name is Rhonda Elazar, and thank you for allowing me to speak. Use my notes. The April council meeting, the agenda included discussions of street usage of UTVs. That was item 9 of that agenda. It was initiated by Alan Moore. There was also another item on the agenda, item 5, about first responders and concerning response time from the fire department. After some discussion about that. During that meeting, I brought up the potential for accidents and response time for UTVs and would we be ready? If on an ordinary day we cannot rely on the timeliness from first responders, how can we possibly rely upon them on a busy summer weekend with potentially heavier usage of UTVs on the streets? During the May council meeting, UTV street usage was again discussed by Councilman Cox, and he did an excellent job of his research and explaining all of the state requirements and reviewing all the ordinances. I again brought up my concerns, and I reminded the council about response time. Would we have proper enforcement of the UTV law? If not, why have an ordinance at all? In fact, at that same meeting, a citizen brought up the need for speed bumps around the Smoky Bear area, and trying to work out coverage of that area was a bit concerning. All this to say that I'm not against UTV usage. I'm concerned about, number one, safety and enforcement. And it's not a matter of if something happens, it's when. And I'm going to leave you with this. There have been 2 profound incidents in my life surrounding these types of vehicles. Number one, my stepbrother was killed in an accident on a UTV. Number 2, as a pedestrian, I was hit by one, drove 50 feet and run over by the UTV. I had to be airlifted to the nearest hospital, and yes, I still suffer from those injuries that I sustained from that accident. And all precautions were taken. The event that I was attending happened to be a Louisiana State Troopers event, so all safety measures were in place. There was just an uninsured, careless driver that happened to run over me. So again, my point, it's not a matter of if, it's when something happens, and if we're prepared for that. Please be sure that there are adequate and timely first responders, and that any laws can be strictly enforced. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rhonda.
Sorry about your losses there and your brother.
So, follow-up comment on Rhonda and the first response time. I will say, we did meet with Patrick. Jimmy, myself, the mayor went down, our fire chief went down, met with Patrick, county judge, I believe. I think that there was some good outcome from that meeting. We kind of identified some fall shorts there. They were addressed by talking with Robert now. I think some of that's gone away. Communication issues is what it boiled down to. With Patrick, our guys, dispatch, come up with some resolutions there. So I would like to think that that's been addressed and hopefully we'll get better. This will be the 3rd council meeting that we've discussed this UTV proposal. And I've said it twice, and I'm going to say it again tonight. Ronnie, you're absolutely right. Without enforcement from our law enforcement officers, this doesn't work. So, if we vote on this tonight, I have to have the chief's commitment for enforcement.
I'll chime in and tell you I'm not voting yes. I I don't believe the Limwood Police Department is in a place to enforce this. I don't think there's a path forward where it's scalable. I think if we approve this now without seriously looking at the police department, when there's alcohol on Broadway next year, and that's reality, I don't think we're in a place to, I'm not in a place to approve UTVs on the streets of Glenwood and we can't be taxed.
Okay, can I say something? Yeah. Okay, I addressed this in the previous meeting, but right now, you put citizens in a position to not tell the truth, if you want to call it that. You know, throw a bale of hay in the back, they're going to another farm. There's ag rules, farmers can still go down the deal. I've been stopped by state troopers on 3 occasions on my UTV, and every time they told me, hey man, have a nice day. They would smell my cup, make sure there was no alcohol involved. You know, we weren't doing anything crazy, just pitter-patting along. So, and I know I've got 4 Metropolitan Honda motorcycles at my house, mini bikes, that me and my daughters can get on and have gotten on since they were little bitty kids. They have no insurance, they have no helmet, they have no seatbelt, they have no nothing, and we can ride them all over town and Hot Springs without doing anything because of the CCs. All right, the state approved this, so it's going to happen whether we approve it or whether we don't because of the state. And so you're either going to have people pleading the ag thing when they go to court, and maybe you're telling the truth or not telling the truth. There is a lot of people that has different properties. My brother's one of them scattered around that can legally do that. But you're either going to have that or you're going to have different ways that they're going to get out of this thing. I think the city would have more control over it, setting the tone for it, because if I can get on a motorcycle and fly down the road with loud pipes and be annoying and go 65 miles an hour, you know, or whatever, you know, you got the same thing. And so it looks to me like if you got to have these things right here was the ones I was noticing. A valid driver's license. So you can't be a repeat offender much. Proof of liability insurance. So that's pretty solid. Registration, very solid. And comply with all traffic laws. You know, so present license, registration, and proof of insurance, which you don't necessarily say proof of insurance on that vehicle, but if you've got insurance on something and you're on something else, regardless of what your insurance company says you do have insurance, is the way I understand it, on different things. I know if Johnny jumps in my truck, goes down the road and has a wreck, his insurance will be responsible for it. But, so I think the city is going to have this, whether we vote for it or whether we don't, we're going to have it. I just think that because all this does is set the tone for how are we going to have it. And when they approve alcohol, which I'm against, because I know what comes with it, and is one reason. But when they approve alcohol, we're going to get it. So at that point, we can either set the tone for some of it, or we can let it go. You know, however, we missed about 6 or 7 votes last year, I think. And 2 years ago. Yeah, last cycle that they was able to have it on there. And so, you know, alcohol's everywhere and all this stuff's everywhere. So I feel very, I mean, your story makes me very sad. I promise it makes me terribly sad. But I had rather the city have the steering wheel and drive the thing if we're going to have the car going down the road anyway. And so, me personally, I'm in favor of this. Having said, I sincerely am sorry for, you know, your losses and such. I just know responsible people can do a lot of things and have a really good time. And things happen, they ain't good.
Are you done? Sorry.
The loud pipes is also on here. It's
So that's the only thing that I had the city attorney incorporate into the are on top of the state requirements, and that
Yeah.
would fall under our city ordinance of noise nuisance.
Yeah.
That would be the only addition outside of the actual.
Oh, it is?
Itself.
Yeah, it's in there.
I'll tell you something I noticed the other day that would be a nice amendment down the road if we decided we wanted to, was, you know, them little stick-on yellow magnet lights, them little, they go yellow and just flash like that. They put them on wheelchairs, they put them on bicycles, they put them on a lot of things. Something like that's pretty noticeable. I was driving through an area the other day and there were some UTVs, they were doing some work and driving them down the road and such, they had them on there and I noticed them very quickly. But anyway, I yield. Floor.
Any other discussion? Any other discussion from the audience? Rick?
You know, it's pretty plain that we have a new UTV type thing that some of these things will go 80 miles an hour. It's a lot different from old Farmer Rick just going to the gas station, go spray some weeds before he runs out of gas.
Smoke some weed?
And, huh?
You say smoke some weed?
Yeah. And poisonous weeds at that, you know, that I'm trying to keep spreading all over the country. And just a little common sense. I'm not saying, you know, it's really against the law. Don't just run all over town, you know, in your farm machine. Because I've got a farm 8 or 6 miles out in the country. That's my house. I can drive anything I got out there to take care of my farm.
Yeah.
But I can't go to the gas station to fill it up and go do that. You know, just use a little common sense, everybody. It doesn't have to be in black and white. Just maybe a little bit of gray here and there. Somebody's down there filling up their gas tank and they hadn't been out there running up and down the road and they're going home. Let them go. You don't have to give everybody a ticket.
A lot of your cities that, I mean, you get in your vacation destination cities, man, these things are very legal. I know those maybe 3-wheel cars and them, I mean, they got it all down in different places in Florida and Alabama and such.
Response to Rick's statement there is, what other needs to understand is, at that time, we were getting multiple calls into dispatch of the sheriff's office. ATVs, UTVs, running up and down the road. People calling. His call was one of them that was complained on. I mean, we have to work towards what we get. It's not we singled anybody out. I had some of them in the impound yard still there from that time.
The other thing I'm gonna say on this, I think one thing everybody needs to understand, if or if not you put this in, your out-of-staters that you're calling your tourists that are coming to town, they're gonna be illegal in theirs anyway, because the state ordinance on this thing specifically states it's gotta be registered in the state of Arkansas. And I think that's a big confusing thing on it. It's not gonna be, that's the state ordinance. That's not anything we can do, correct, Jimmy? Or-
So, that is something the state did miss on the original act, but from what I can gather off the internet for what that's worth, that is being addressed by the state. They're gonna find an avenue around that. Because originally, this is what this act was for, right? They targeted the tourism side of it, and they just totally missed the out-of-state part of it. But it's gonna get addressed at some point. How they're gonna do that, the details aren't out there on that just
But
yet.
as of
But
today,
as of today,
if you even put this ordinance in and somebody out of state drives a four-wheeler in town, they're illegal because that's the way the state, that's not a city ordinance.
Well, they can't
that's
drive a
state.
4-wheeler in town anyway with its
Well,
all they can drive is a UTV,
Okay,
a
Yeah,
side by
you're-
side.
side by side, yeah.
Yeah,
so that's ultimately, yes.
Yeah, it can't be straddled.
right.
But it's like, it's like hunting and fishing. You can't, just because you got an Arkansas fishing line, you can't go down to Texas, throw bait in the water and expect to fish for free.
Well, I think
I mean-
adults know that. I mean, I think Texans we're splitting hairs, I think. Texans coming up here know that.
They should.
And if they don't, then there's one way to find out, you know?
Consequences.
It's what we're gonna allow our police department to do with autonomy is the big thing. If the officer discretion is what comes in with Rick, right? If there's a difference in Rick and drunk Texans or drunk whoever coming off the river. This is not for Rick. This isn't for you. This is not what this is about, in my opinion, and I just don't think our police department is in any shape close to being able to enforce this on a scale that we would need them
I served my 3 months.
to. And you know what? You toed the line, Rick.
All right, any
I
other
make a
discussion?
motion, we approve it, because I think
All right.
we're gonna be driving it one way or the other. The car's fixing to be driving, we can either have some control over it or not.
I have a motion to accept, I guess we call it ordinance 2604. Have a second.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call.
Alan,
Yes.
Chase,
No.
Jimmy,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Do I have a motion to accept reading of ordinance 2604
Hey,
for
Billy.
the first time?
One thing I would like to note, I mean, the ordinance is passed and over and done, but at any time, we can come back and we address a lot of things that's been in
Yeah.
motion. We
Absolutely.
come
You
back
can
a
pull
year
it,
from now
you
and
can
say,
pull
hey,
it.
y'all gotta put a yellow light on top.
It's the verbiage pertaining to that.
Correct.
Dustin wrote this.
Right. You know, and like I was saying on the insurance, that it don't specify,
Yes, it does.
Yes.
It does say you have to have insurance.
yes, but it don't specify insurance on,
That vehicle.
but it don't say that. It says you have to have proof of Arkansas liability insurance. What I'm saying is if you have insurance though, it's gonna take care of that anyway.
Says you must carry proof of liability insurance meeting Arkansas minimum requirements
Correct.
for on that vehicle.
But, does it say it on that vehicle?
Because you gotta have insurance to register it. You can't register it without insurance. So when you go register it, if you don't have insurance on that vehicle, you can't register it. Has to be assessed. It has to be just like a car.
Okay, either way, however it is how Arkansas state law's got it.
Correct. It follows the motor law.
Correct. And you know, UTVs are gonna be like everything else. They're gonna be real hot and heavy for a minute and then they're gonna back out and they'll be chasing something else.
But we
we
have the
can't
right-
amend this by point.
We
is
have
what
a
I'm
right
trying
to pull
say.
it at any time, yes.
Yeah, we can go back and amend it.
Okay, do I have a motion to accept the first reading of ordinance 2604?
Yes.
Yes,
Have a second.
yes,
Roll call.
Alan,
yes.
Chase,
Is this to accept the
To read it.
terminology? To read it, yes.
Jimmy,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Johnny, you want to read it?
Ordinance number 26-04, an ordinance designating certain public streets and highways within the city of Glenwood, Arkansas as open for the operation of utility task vehicles, also known as UTVs, establishing rules for operation, providing for enforcement, and for other emergency purposes. Whereas the Arkansas General Assembly enacted Act 922 of 2025, authorizing municipalities to designate certain public streets and highways within their jurisdiction as open to the operation of utility task vehicles, UTVs. And whereas the City Council of the City of Glenwood, Arkansas has determined that allowing the operation of UTVs on designated city streets will benefit residents while maintaining public safety. Now, therefore, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Glenwood, Arkansas. Section 1, purpose. The purpose of the ordinance is to authorize the operation of utility task vehicles on designated streets in accordance with Arkansas law and to establish reasonable regulations for their operation.
Is that a short reading? Doesn't he just have to do the top, or are you doing the whole reading?
No, you gotta do the whole
Whole
reading
reading,
first.
okay, sorry, I read that.
You're fine. Section 2, definitions. Utility task vehicle, or UTV, shall have the meaning assigned by Arkansas Code 27-21-101 and Arkansas Code 27-21-102. As amended by Act 922 of 2025, as defined below. A vehicle that is 80 inches or less in width, travels on 4 or more low-pressure tires, has a steering wheel, uses non-straddle seating, bench seat or bucket seats, has rollover protection system, is designated for or capable of travel over unimproved terrain. It's powered by an internal combustion engine that has an engine displacement of at least 900 cubic centimeters. Section 3, designated streets. All public streets and highways within the corporate city limits of Glenwood are hereby designated as open to UTV operation, except any street or highway with a posted speed limit greater than 55 miles per hour, any divided 4-lane highway, any street specifically listed in Exhibit A attached hereto. Any state highway or state park where operation is prohibited by state law. Any areas not designated for motor vehicle traffic. Section 4, operation requirements. A person operating a UTV on a designated city street shall possess a valid driver's license, carry proof of liability insurance meeting Arkansas minimum requirements, carry proof of registration as required by Arkansas law, comply with all traffic laws applicable to the motor vehicle, present license, registration, and proof of insurance upon request by law enforcement. Section 5, vehicle requirements. Any UTV operating on designated city street must comply with Arkansas Code 27-21-108, including but not limited to having at least 2 forward-facing headlamps in compliance with Arkansas Code 27-36-208. Any operation of light attached to the UTV must have rear turn signals, at least 1 brake light, seat belts for each occupant, factory installed or improved rollover protection. The registration decal by state law shall be displayed as prescribed by Arkansas law. Section 6, operational rules. No person shall operate a UTV in a careless, reckless, or negligent manner. Occupants shall remain seated while the vehicle is in motion. Seat belts shall be worn by all occupants. No person shall operate a UTV while under the influence of alcohol or drugs. No UTV shall be operated on sidewalks, parks, trails, or public property where motor vehicles are prohibited unless specifically authorized. UTV operators shall obey all posted traffic control devices and speed limits. Section 7, hours of operation. Unless otherwise authorized by law, UTV operation shall be permitted 24 hours per day. Noise regulation. All UTVs shall be equipped with a functioning muffler system. Excessive or unusual noise is in violation of the city nuisance ordinance, which is prohibited. Section 9, enforcement. The city police department or any certified law enforcement officer acting within their lawful jurisdiction shall enforce this ordinance. Any violation of this ordinance shall constitute a standalone violation. Any person violating the provision of this ordinance shall be deemed to be in violation of Arkansas Code anointed 27-21-104, Class C misdemeanor, and shall be subject to the penalties provided by state law. Section 10, state law controls. Nothing in this ordinance shall be construed to authorize conduct prohibited by Arkansas law. Any future amendments to the state law governing UTV operations shall automatically control the extent of any conflict. Section 11, severability. If any provision of this ordinance is held invalid, such invalidity shall not affect the remaining provisions. Section 12, repealer. All ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict herewith are repealed. Section 13, emergency clause. The City Council of the City of Glenwood, Arkansas determines that this ordinance is necessary and vital for health, welfare, and safety of the public, and that therefore an emergency is declared to exist, and this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage and approval.
Do I have a motion to accept the first reading of ordinance 2604?
Yes. You said yes. Yep. Yes. Or second, whatever.
Get them all. Do I have a motion for the short reading of ordinance 2604? second reading.
You need to vote.
Vote on that one first.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes.
Johnny?
Yes.
Jimmy? Chase? Al? Yeah,
2604, second reading. Do I have
I'll
a
make it.
motion to accept short reading of ordinance 2604?
I'll make it.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Jimmy?
Yes.
Johnny?
Yes.
Al?
Yes.
Chase?
Just read the,
Down to section 1.
yeah.
We gotta do
Well,
this
no,
3
this
times,
is-
don't we?
I got to read these right there.
You want me to read it?
First paragraph, yeah.
All right, ordinance number 2604, an ordinance designated certain public streets and highways within the city of Glenwood, Arkansas, as open to the operation of utility task vehicles, UTVs, establishing rules for operation, providing for enforcement and or other emergency purposes.
Have a reading, you approve the second reading of ordinance 2604.
Yes.
Second, yes.
Second. And roll call.
Al?
Yes.
Chase?
Yep.
Jimmy?
Yes.
Johnny?
Yes.
Do I have a motion to accept the third reading in short form of ordinance 2604?
Yes.
Second.
Roll call.
Al?
Yes.
Chase?
Yep.
Jimmy?
Yes.
Johnny?
Yes.
Right.
All right, and ordinance number 2604, an ordinance designating certain public streets and highways within the city of Glenwood, Arkansas, as open to the operation of utility task vehicles, UTVs, establishing rules for operating, providing for enforcement, and for other emergency purposes.
Do I have a motion to accept reading number 3 of ordinance 2604?
I'll make it.
Second.
Yes.
Roll call.
Al?
Yes.
Chase?
Yep.
Jimmy?
Yes.
Johnny?
Yes. All right. Chase.
Yes, sir. So I wanted to talk about, and this all kind of stems from our last meeting, where we had speeding issues and we jumped to speed bumps. After that, I was approached by several citizens through Facebook and in public, and so I want to share a little bit about where I see the Glenwood Police Department and what scares me about it. So, one of the most effective leaders I know preludes every tough conversation with, to be clear, is to be kind. And this will be a tough conversation. So, I want to speak clearly tonight because I am concerned.
I got a piece.
Go ahead,
Hold on.
I'll get you the clip.
Go ahead, Al.
I want to be very clear that this is not a criticism of the officers of the Glenwood Police Department. It is a question of leadership, policy, and accountability. We are being asked to make decisions about the future of Glenwood while our police department is operating in a state of uncertainty. We have officers, a budget, uniforms, vehicles, titles, but we don't have a clear enforcement posture that the public, this council, or even our own officers can understand. We appear to have a disconnect between the authority our police department has on paper and the authority it is perceived to have in practice. There have been allegations that even routine enforcement requires approval up the chain of command before anything happens. If that is true, then we are not operating under a system that is clear, predictable, or effective. That is a structural issue, not a personal one. And that raises a fair question. If basic traffic enforcement requires approval from the executive branch, then what is the intended enforcement policy of the Glenwood Police Department? I want to be very clear, this is not personal. This is about structure, accountability, and public safety. Glenwood is changing. Year over year, we continue to see growth in tourism, particularly surrounding the Caddo River. Whether we embrace that growth or not, it's happening. We look toward next tourism season, and we also face the possibility that the countywide vote on alcohol could pass. It failed by just 7 votes the last time it was on the ballot, and if that changes, alcohol sales and alcohol-related activity both on the river and in our community will become a much more significant public safety issue. My concern is that we have not demonstrated that we are prepared for those challenges. Before next summer arrives, we need to be confident that our police department has the leadership, authority, and clear enforcement posture necessary to meet them. And right now, I do not believe we have that clarity. So my question is direct. Can anyone clearly explain the enforcement policy of the Glenwood Police Department, the chain of authority under which it is expected to operate? Because we have a fiduciary responsibility to the citizens of Glenwood. And that responsibility requires us to ask these questions now so we can build a police department that is scalable for Glenwood. I also want to acknowledge that these are challenging times, and I don't believe anyone is acting with malfeasance or ill intent. I believe everyone involved wants what's best for Glenwood and is doing the best they can under difficult circumstances. My concern is not about motives, it's about whether our current structure is sustainable as our community continues to grow. As members of this council, it is our responsibility to ask difficult questions, but also to help find solutions. If changes are needed, this council should be a part of that process. I want us to work together to build a police department that is scalable, with clear leadership, clear authority, and the resources necessary to meet the needs of a growing community. Those are my thoughts, and I'll open the floor to anyone on the council who has comments, concerns, or ideas on this subject.
All right. Oh, let me get one thing cleared up. I think Greg has got a, Smoky Bear was a concerned road last meeting. Greg, fill us in.
It was brought to my attention, I didn't make last meeting, that there was some issues with Smoke Bear at the top. I personally sat over there several different days, watching the speed, radar. Never once did I get anybody over 30 miles an hour.
That's great.
Officer Mines sat over there, other officers sat over there. And then I was brought to a company called me, Insight, and that's what they do. They monitor, like, if we bought into their company, they monitor our city streets. It tells us what's speeding, what's not, what the average is.
How do they monitor that?
Through your car,
Should we mail this to Greg, you think?
It's not OnStar, but it's the navigation of your vehicle. The same thing that your highway department uses in the work zones. It's the same program.
But 90% of the cars in town aren't new enough to have the GPS systems. So
They
that
doing it
wouldn't
with
do us,
phones,
that wouldn't,
triangulate?
No, it's not through phone, it's through GPS.
so that wouldn't do us any good.
Well, you know, here was their average come back on Smoky Bear at the top. Their average was 16 miles an hour.
Thanks, Greg.
16 miles an hour?
That was the average that they come back with. Their 50 percentile was 16 miles an hour. It got down to where they was 20 was the best they could regulate the week before. I mean,
These, what y'all just passed out, is that the readings that our police officers took?
that's readings that yes. Maybe
You
just
can look that
gone.
up.
I'll say that I do appreciate the readings, but I mean, I actually went down there and spoke to the Hispanic community that lives between Smoky Bear and that back street. I mean, like, I went down to those single wides and talked to them immediately after that. This does not reflect their concerns.
No.
And this to me is not,
All right, let me ask you a question. I'm not trying to be, the police work this on these time frames, and the cars that come through, you want me to put an officer there 24 hours a day and not police any other part of town?
No.
This is the speeds that were happening at the time our officers were sitting there.
But
Give
you-
me a better idea, Chase. What do you
I
want me
mean,
to do?
consistent presence seems to be.
That's what I was
working
gonna say. The
well.
one
I
thing
mean,
they all
I
told
think
me
we're
was
talking about
they
presence,
actually
not
seen
about
cops now.
catching
It's nice to
speeders.
actually see them. But we had to bring this issue up to get them
I
over
mean,
there.
I don't know why we have to pick between Smoky Bear
Yeah.
and the rest of the town if we have a full police department.
We have 3 full-time officers.
And what's-
Three full-time officers that work 8 hours apiece a day.
Two of them.
That's
one of them are on
what
the
we've
street.
got.
Well, I've got some thoughts on that that'll be better for executive session, but I will say that this to me just says presence. This doesn't say enforcement. This says we're here and people are slowing down because they're seeing the
If
black
you
car
put
with
if you
blue
put a
lights.
police car out there, people are gonna slow down.
Oh, yeah, correct.
Yeah, that's the point.
So I mean, you gotta get a police officer before you can write a ticket. It's gotta get somebody doing past 35, because right now that's
yeah, I'm not-
35 mile an hour. And
Well, I
they
just don't know
weren't
why
there.
we're stuck with patrolling Smoky Bear or, I don't know why we can't have both.
I think we are patrolling.
Well, that's what you said, though. It's either we patrol Smoky Bear or we patrol Glenwood. I don't know
Well,
why we have to
if you
choose
want
one.
more than just, I mean, if they sit here at these times and nobody was speeding, how much more time do you want me to devote?
Is speed associated with a time of day or the presence of a law enforcement officer? That's the thing, and I'm not saying sit somebody there all the time, but put it on a rotation. Well, that's your job as the police chief to figure that out, not mine.
Exactly.
You got, guys, yeah, Rick,
I just don't think the Glenwood Police Department's running like
It's
that.
only got 2 houses on it, basically, and they got apartment things. That's not much of a place where I wanna set up and get an average. Set up on Mountain View.
Mountain View is getting tickets written all the time. The state police are sitting out there.
Some of them folks is going 60 miles an hour.
You allow me to sit on your property, okay?
It scares me to death to pull out there, because I don't wanna kill nobody. But I'm pulling out with a stock trailer, and they come over that hill, they haven't got many places to go. And the speed limit is 30 miles an hour from Jim Robertson's driveway right on past me.
The thing I think the people of Glenwood need to understand, in our budget, we have 3 officers, full-time, and a 20-hour part-time.
So who's the part-time?
He's been
Part-time,
working.
has been working full-time.
He's been working full-time right now, so he's.
Because-
Is he full-time or part-time?
He's part-time.
Okay.
I have applied for, or going to apply for, the cops grants back out there to try to get, I think we can apply for 1 more officer. Guys, if you divide 24 hours a day by
Say,
7 days a week, 3 officers is not full-time coverage.
But you're saying that those are the only officers in the city, and that's just fundamentally untrue. We've got the state police here, we've got the
But I
sheriff
can't
here.
control their hours they're working,
Well,
and where they're working. And they're writing tickets, many tickets.
But we're not, and that's the
How many
problem.
tickets we got in court this week?
There was so much trepidation last week about even writing the tickets, because we didn't want to
We
face the
are-
complaints, and that's what I'm concerned
We are
about.
writing in the court system, if you go to Murfreesboro and you got court down there, Glenwood police officers are writing more tickets with 3 officers than the county, Murfreesboro, and the state police.
I did
Our
some-
court docket is bigger than Murfreesboro's court
I
docket.
did some research on that, and it's our auxiliary officers are writing more tickets than our police officers. And they don't even get paid for their job.
So what are we doing?
Exactly.
It just seems like what was on the budget earlier, over 200.
I just want to go on the record and say I appreciate our guys in uniform and everything, no matter what it is. It's got room for improvement. It's just a matter of figuring out what that is. But I'm also I understand what Billy's saying. If you take how many hours in a week and you go dividing that up, let's say hypothetically you have an officer get called out to 3rd Street, South 3rd Street, and they're there for an hour and 30 minutes. Well, in reality, taking the state police and the sheriff's department out of it, we don't have, and auxiliaries, you don't have any coverage anywhere in the town, because the only officer on duty is there for an hour and a half. So, the only thing I would know to do would be to target, the areas that get complaints, is try to do what we've done on them other ones and
You're-
patrol it and the areas that are the
Presence.
hot areas, patrol them and do the best we can with what we've got to work with.
I think the citizens
I'm-
of Glenwood deserve better than the best we can with what we've got. That's just how I
The,
feel about it.
the
I'm-
You
county,
give more than the best you can with what you
Because
got.
we're not giving the best we can right now.
Okay,
Nobody
and
can
then
look
we're
at
saying the
this and
same
say
thing.
that
I'm saying give the best we can.
I'm gonna make a
with what
motion
we've
to
got.
go in executive session.
I say,
roll call?
Jimmy,
Yes.
John, Chase.
7:05.
What's your last name?
So y'all wouldn't have to rent copies. Is that true, Steve?
Yeah, that's right, yeah, yeah. Did you get us? Right, right. So much of everything in the state stuff.
The times that have gone that way anyway. I'm old, so I had no idea. Yeah, your time you have signs on there. The sign is bad. They need to put one of those things
Do I have a
that
copy of
shows.
that?
I'm going.
Actually, I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, that's true too. It's plywood, so those aluminum. I'm videoing you. Remember how I did last time? That's the whole thing, and then I'm doing it. Yes. You got the plan out, but I did, I'm gonna do. The whole meeting, I'm gonna do. 4 weeks. You know, orders, they gave it to us. I'm not sure.
I'll make a note. If I don't hear from you, I'll email you.
Yeah, I just did, but I should have.
Yeah, that's. Right now. Yeah. He's. No, he's got some. I'm just here. Maybe oversee those two first.
Just give it to Brenda. She was on last week. You had her working on the damn statement on the back of the phone.
Karen's will make sure that it gets to the paper.
You're lucky man. You're lucky man.
He's got it all.
Brenda knows it every day.
We've got the signed copies of yours.
Jason, you can tell.
Yes, sir.
It has to run a second.
Oh, I appreciate it.
You don't have to put anything.
No,
I
no,
just-
that's huge help.
I like to type out what I say. Stay on track.
Sure.
Steer off.
Oh, I just.
The ADD, yeah. Don't try.
I could just shift right into a monologue.
Oh, in part. And if you know, I really didn't do it for the boys league. I did it
Yeah. no, I-
because, and I can tell you, you know what my, and this was several years ago, the air flight that picked me up was almost $12,000.
Yeah, my,
Almost $12,000. I had insurance, but the girl who did it didn't have insurance.
my, ex-girlfriend, mother of my daughter, she'd be on the airplane, Texas, Canada, towards Dallas.
thing is, and then I was looking at all this blood all over, I was like, okay, how much?
Like, how much
I
you-
And it was hot, that machine was hot.
That's why you have to play here. Anyway, y'all, we're having a meeting.
we've written those tickets. And he gave us the authority, he said, listen, until the law comes out, warning, we have to give them warning. And when that law came out, he said, the law's in our books now, give them one warning. Give them 2 to 3 weeks to get it fixed, if they don't, hammer them. And we provide them because it's a $250 ticket, the second one's $500, the third one's $750 in total, the fourth one's $1,000, and it's impounded for 30 days. Yeah, we've got a kid out of the rock, we pulled over, and it was the third one. We took it.
Third one in the city, or third one on the record?
Third one on the record. His first time was with us, but it was the third time. The other 2 times was in Hot Springs, Florida. Some from Russellville, from college, drove down, thought it was cool. They wanted to go to our parking lot to do, they weren't doing full donuts, but they started doing, we pulled in on. They got served. Oh, they're everywhere. Go Circle K between 8 p.m. and 12 midnight. You'll see them all lined up. Because I told the manager at Circle K, you need to put that these kids hang out right there because all they're doing is being a problem, being all jacked up, lights playing the music loud. Well, then now they're coming to us one. Well, now we see beer bottles and beer cans and stuff from these 16-year-old kids where they drop them off. I said, but you're allowing them to stay on your property. Then you want me to be the daddy and show up, and I can't sit with them all night long, make sure they don't drink. Come on. Yeah. So, I mean, it's getting bad. I mean, her own grandkids, they have the little mini side by sides and they play and stuff. If they don't dare get on the dirt road, which is private property, because these people, because technically we can't write tickets on that as private property, even though their sign's 10 miles an hour. We scare them, and we can't write those tickets. But there's kids coming from Louisiana, Texas, just flying about to get her grandkids on it. And so their kids, they stay on the ground. I've watched them. So I go get them, and I tell them, I'm not going to write you a ticket. But I'm telling you, you're on video, and I'll come back and I'll write you, and I'll tell you your stuff. You know, they can come back. But it's not going to do no good when they kill their grandchild.
Yes.
Ride her little plastic side-by-side thing, you know? I mean, it's just, but I mean, I don't know why we're here. I'm sorry. Just let us write the ticket.
And what I said was, Johnny's, more people watch his videos, the little clip, the ATV stuff, than they watch the whole thing. So I said, well, I'm gonna record the whole thing here and put it on, and then I'm gonna do segments of interest, like I did his segment separate. So, you know, I was doing minute marks and all that, but I was so time consuming. And then I did Chase's segment too, whatever he said, because it's separate on the okay. So I'm gonna have 3 out there real quick. Real quick. Yeah, no, I just like doing it.
What she's doing is she's following you. I'm staying on there. So if you come off north on Ferguson and turn right, and you come to Pauline, where do you work? With the first house on the right. She's Japanese. And Stacy called me one time. It was a first vehicle that pulled over. I was calling me out the spline. So she got hit. She couldn't see it. Yeah, that's what he's telling me.
I was on the retail side before.
And then it was on to her house. She was
I had an agency and I sold it.
I started going all over town. Family Dollar General, flea market places. I mean, everywhere. They can work with this guy.
But I work from motorcycle.
I saw her in the yard the other day, and when I laid there, she was like this, and she was in my lap. She ran it off. See, that's me, you know. Arsenal isn't me. Senior citizens. They eventually take the test, but they can do high stuff. You know. I mean, I've been to 7 years. And
You
you
know, if we were estimating it for the Pike County, Murfreesboro.
So you have to rescue. No, it's not added to that point.
Pike County, we're just left out of Pike County. Yes, so our state police in Pike County sometimes they use ours. Sometimes theirs is down. Ours is pretty much, since he's got the new supervisor certified one, between me and him now, it's, ours is on 24/7. For a while there, it was, he was so overloaded, sometimes they would hit it down and he'd go in like that next day, that supervisor.
So does the county, the state, and the county?
Yes. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we had a trooper who was ours.
I mean, we talk about it, it's like,
We've been back here in this kitchen twice since I've been here. We had to walk through the council.
Yeah.
Walk somebody in here to do this.
not really at that point.
Yeah.
Not there yet.
Yeah, he was that over there.
It's got to be done.
Yeah, see, ours is all audio video now, after he's done it. So when you go back there, and they're trying to say, I wouldn't do this, and then we should have did some shit. Yeah, they're falling over. Oh, yeah. But then other audio video. Yeah, he also makes us, we put our body count, we run it 24/7 with it, we put it on the breathalyzer itself. So when they're sitting up front, they're on that camera, the camera here, and one over here, and his audio is got set up. So it's all the way around. Yeah. Yeah, ours come on, and when our blue lights come on, it turns on. If we don't turn our blue lights on, we hit it, and it turns on. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, they're trapped. And then they want to follow the sea rule. That American flag, the American flag, the seafaring way, that's, I'm sorry, system, I said, we're not on the ocean. We don't stand out, we don't see it. Yeah, they'll tell you they're launching it tomorrow. I do with it. Not the whole point of something. Yeah, no, I'm happy where they go all the way down that far and tell me they don't have to have a driver's license. I've been driving 4 to 5 years, I never, well, good luck with it. Do something now. And then I'll roll a window up. Break the glass and put it out. I'm taking pictures. I'm having to put a thing on the thing going, my attorney is this and this, and I'm traveling and do not have answering questions. I don't have to, or they'll pull their phone up, I go, that's not important too. Well, my body can't. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just do no warning. Chief, sorry. When I've done half day, it's signed off, it's 2 o'clock, so she violated my contact order with it. Within a matter of an hour, get done. Yeah. She is. No, she was on camera. Yeah, she told the judge how it was gonna be 2 weeks ago. Judge said, oh, okay, give me the time.
I went and read her court documents on my birthday about they were gonna get signed, that kind of
wrote a lot of stuff. Yeah, April sent it, I didn't read it, but I got it. Yeah. Yeah, she's great. Yeah, she's still locked up. And then if Dustin will sign off ours, and, because the judges are on board with the chief, we'll just get Dustin sign off, and have that button on board. And then we'll go serve her over in Martin County. And she'll like, I can, when I get done with her. I think Greg would agree, if she would agree to sign a no contact order for the city of Glenwood and never come back. Greg would say, well, wait, all warrants and all laws, you can go, just don't come back. Yeah, she'll do time for missing the state trooper. Yeah, she put pictures of his house, inside of his house, and his wife, kids. Yeah, and then she also bragged about to him too. Yeah. Brenda, can you come here, please? Yes. No, you're fine.
Sometimes tell our younger reporters how these teaching and it's great. You know, some stuff when that walking so let's get back to that. No, it's technology is so much easier now. Young reporters don't appreciate that at all.
Whichever one it is, I'm involved in it, and, I mean, I'm, they don't want me. When I see those, and they're doing like this, I'm like, how are they doing that? It's like,
And I didn't see, back 20 years ago, they stopped 8 years. But it's just like, how do you come in back to 50% legal transfer
yeah,
for court?
and think how. I know it costs a lot.
Yeah. I remember learning that in high school. Never made use of it, but I remember having to learn it
I mean,
one
I
year.
laugh now because I think that's not right.
Could you want a copy of the packet on that, or do you want hard copies too? Not to go with that. You don't need everything to have a digital file. You need everything digital file. You just want the RPS and the call stop. Or the. something, you know, put it in 100% right.
Yeah, I mean, ours, it's a,
Uh,
I mean, my first job was at McDonald's, and we had to get one of those old registers, ching, and we had to count things back.
Yeah, that may be, you know, like I said. I got it in the mail today, so.
I'm gonna be emailing it to you.
I've had, I don't know how many people in the last Did you just say?
And I'm not in any
I
hurry.
know.
I'm not in
I
any
know,
hurry.
That's not towards you at all. But it's just, it's amazing. I had one text me this morning when they got me this stuff first. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I feel like, hey, I'm gonna believe on it, so
So it's,
it is what it is.
people never, ever cease to. I had, working on Turner had the last 2 days. Consolidated. Consolidated. So essentially it had been very tired. It's a pain. Trying to get everything tied out. More of the thing. But anyway, hopefully, and he's everything. He'll get it done. He got it done. That's all, you know, got the thing is that was, forget the refund.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to pay, they just throw it out, you know.
I mean, this year I'm hoping I'll do a little bit better because we bought that property from everything. And, I mean, I'm just gonna put the expenses that I think, like we bought a tractor, you know, I'm gonna put,
You just put it all in
I'm just
there.
gonna put it all in there and you just tell me what I can do.
I'll go through what
We didn't do an LLC or nothing like that. We bought the money, bought, you know, tell us that property is. That's the intent.
We'll go through it all, see what we
I just wanna do it, send it all to you, but I'm not in a hurry. I just wanted to tell you ahead. Now I know, now I feel so bad.
Actually, I thought about you the other day. I don't believe she's got her stuff yet, and I did go back and look at emails to see.
Yeah, to see if
But
they
the
get
last
it.
one, just to
Yeah.
make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm real bad when somebody emails me stuff. I'll usually save it, and I'll tell Tara I got it. And then, if she's the one, she puts most everything in to start with, gets it started.
Yeah.
And I don't send them to her, so that, you know, and I'm like, well, because I didn't send it to her.
I thought about sending all of it except for the expenses, because I don't know. And then I said, no, I'm not gonna send it till I have it all together, because then you have to look through, you look through emails as well.
I've got others that'll send 15 emails.
No, I want
And
it
it'll
all.
have one
back.
thing on each email, you know. And I'm like, okay, which, you know, okay, that's just more time for me to save everything and drop off. If you bring it in paper, we scan everything, drop off. And I never look at the paper anymore.
I just send it when I have it.
I prefer digital
Yeah.
nowadays. I didn't think I'd ever say that.
Well, neither did I. Insurance business, so you can do that. I have it.
Oh, yeah, you know, you've been, obviously, all the file cabinets, that was all insurance stuff. That wasn't county stuff. And when I bought the national office, they were already 100% digital. They didn't have, the only paper they kept were the 2 signature sheets you had to keep already. Everything else was scanned in and give them back. You know, used to, whatever you brought, we made copies, kept paper in file, that paper about that. So we're gonna do it, that, we'll do that up here. So that's what we started. Yes, I do. No woman.
Did you have to go back and forth, or was it pretty much?
I hadn't been down there 2 weeks. During tax season, I try to go 2 or 3 days a week because people want to see it. And which I still understand why they want to see it. And whatever makes you happy. But yeah, I haven't been down there. I can remote in and hopefully next month in August, I'll get everything in the cloud. So I'm not gonna have an actual server anymore. Everything's gonna be up there.
That's good, because you're not worried about income footage.
And it'll be all RSS security too. And, most of the people are up to that. They can, so. Which generally, you just buy that security package that they require, and you're $3,500 a year.
Just for that.
Security, so why not pay $4,000 a year for a server?
And not have to worry about what's ready to crashing.
And
Back up.
if my tax software needs updates, they do it, they do all this stuff. And anything physical, have to go turn anything on, or update it, each one of my people will have one on the cloud. And that's real good work. And I'm gonna change the name of, go down there and meet with the public. Up here, we're playing, we'll make a vote, so, trying to figure out what that is, not sure. Got it narrowed down, get your feet. And I wanna tie, the reason we got these, tie, that into the description. Anchor Financial Services, would be Anchor Financial, all of it. Anchor Financial, Armor Financial. Which one do you So you, Terry likes
I
Anchor.
like Anchor because I think of.
Yeah.
There's a lot of plumbers.
Yeah, the reason, the main reason they put Armor in next is because it's their point nine. So here, in Nashville wouldn't matter,
Yeah.
but here, it would kind of tie
Tie
into
into
that.
that, you know.
And I got Beacon, Fly House, guys.
I think of commercial union. That was way back in the day for housing. Do you remember what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
for old commercial?
Tara hates Beacon. She said, if it's Beacon, I'm not gonna answer the phone.
I think old commercial union, but that's a long,
We almost the first time we were, that was one of the names that we kicked around when we first time. They'll get some. I mean, anytime. It's like, the pie here is not gonna change, it's just the slices. That's the whole reason you go, see if you can get a little slice of that pie. Because it's hard to grow organic. It's hard to grow organically, you've got to, what you gotta do to grow. Make it so tough. Glad I'm wrong about that.
Yes, you put yourself in, all your stuff in the file, if you feel like it, fine.
I'll work.
That age where, I have to be 67 before I'm gonna count off. Because, I mean, I think I missed it. I'd like to do that.
I've got an 8-year-old boy out.
My son is in the same boat. He has a 19, 17, 18, and he's got another 7,
27, 19.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably not the same.
19 is in Hot Springs going to school. 27. He's working at Garden Gardens there. I guess he worked there about 5 years.
I've never been there.
We were actually out there. I don't, Tara goes whenever, all the new plans, every time it changes, she goes to the Christmas lights. Which I was forced to go this year, first time I've been to that. They've got a big Christmas light. That's, when he first started at Garden, that's when he was temporary help for the lights. In September when we started. But anyway, he is, as of last year, officially a full-time employee in Congress. Treatment. And he enjoys it. I mean, he loves working with there. School did not call, he was not college. And he did a couple other things. He didn't like any of it, but he obviously ordered me life.
Not my son. He was not, he was come on, he was for 2 years. And that's it. He could sell houses. I mean, he could sell insurance like I've never seen, which is kind of hard to do, it's an intangible, and blood. And he gave me 2 years, I came in and said, I'm not doing this anymore.
Cole, he works over at Hatch, got here for a little bit. County appraiser. He was in, been around Texarkana about, he said, everybody I drove in the yard, they just hated me because I was about to reappraise the property. I don't like people being mad at me. He did that for like 6 months before he got, so then he went to work for a friend of his doing roofs, not actually doing roofs, but doing the estimates and all that stuff. He said, he said, I don't like selling. That's what that job is.
That's what it is, yeah.
I'm not a selling person. That's why I wasn't, I'm not saying, we could have had that agency do much better than it did when we were salespeople. And so our farmers, they want somebody that is cold calling. I told you when I bought this thing that no quotes. No, there's no quote. And I'm not cold calling. Well, yeah, there's no quotes, but if you want to get this and this and this, you can sell this much of that farmers. If you don't need something, they cut your production. There's agents out there getting 2%. And I'm like, that's just not gonna go for you. You sign up for what the contract says, they change your commission at any point. But, you're signed up making, 18 bucks. Unless you're making this much in premium, and then you'll get that, The answer was always, look, you buy these leaves and you call all these other people.
I get a lot of farmers things.
I had, basically one of the last straws for us, I got emails from farmers on my house and my house. So I did it, all right? Just, hey, well, they came back a whole lot less than what I could do myself. Counting my commission on myself, it was lower than that. And I sent it all to our district manager. He said, oh, that's not right, they can't do that. And I'm like, dude, you do that. All I gotta do is check the box, and I got a box. He said, no, they can't do that. Well, they're obviously, they also, so Glenwood's 4.9, okay, so they may put the house we moved to at 9, what they had it, so, and I'm like, I got a hydrant in my yard, and I got a pond on my property, so water source, you know, it doesn't have to be a hydrant, you just got a water source. There's actually a pond on my property, a pond next to me, on either side of it, there's water. I'm less than a mile right here, in the fire department. Should be a full. All we give me is a 9.
He couldn't do the one up by us, that's wrong, right there by the street.
They would not change it. They said, ISO says 9. I said, no, it says 4.9. If it meets these criteria, it should be a 4, and it doesn't. No, that's not what that means. I'm like, you read the rules again.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking for. You're only making it. And it was, I mean,
You didn't have a choice. You were given permission. You had no permission. You
when I
were
said, look around myself. Tell me how hard this is selling. The people that built that house put the hydrant in the front yard for that reason. You know, it's not a hydrant, but it's a hydrant. You can hook it up, fire truck it up to it. We had to buy 2 umbrellas, saying yes, there was a mile, yes, there is 5 water source, all this stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
really far. I mean, like, I think I'm on the last house except for a few of them. Really far house. That was not, but it was. It actually wasn't in Pike County. It was in whatever county it's in. And I don't even have insurance. It's just, I mean, some metal cans. But it's still, you know, it was cosmetic on the top. You can look at it, you can see one thing on it, everything else is cosmetic. Pull the deeds out. Yeah. Thought about seeing if somebody would do that.
They said if you'll go ahead and fix it, we will give you what you're asking for. It's not going to have that done, so it don't cost $1,000.
Progressive did that adjustment is awesome. And then homeowners, with the computer,
$200 for my barn, for a barn.
They didn't use that as like other structures?
It's too far away.
Oh, gosh.
It's 300 feet or something. I can't remember what their length is, but I mean, it's, you know, it's, you can see it. But it's more than 300. So I'm like, I'll just go with that. If it burns down, burns down. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking, well, if we had if I wouldn't have had all the other stuff, we could have used the extra from the house to redo the barn. But I had to do it other places where it
Yeah,
was needed.
I mean, you know, yes, that's kind of what I was doing. Because I was like, the RV cover, we just put it since we've been here. And I was like, I can do it. Yeah, it's all RV cover.
We just bought it. And I bought at auction the other day, a 20 by 40 metal building kit. It's in a box. Got to be put together for $2,000. So I gotta get somebody to put it together now. But surely, that's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna put it next to my shop. Put my camper in. I'm not gonna put a slab on it, just put gravel.
That's what I just.
And I'm gonna have an electrician put a 35 amp service over there so I can plug it up. On my barn and my front shed, I've decided I want to learn how to weld, do stuff like that. So he's gonna put me in a 220 in my barn and my front shed. So Terry said, when are you gonna do this? I
Well,
said,
like,
well, I don't know.
yeah, like
I don't know
with,
yet, but I'm going to.
How do you have to go?
Bottom of it, I'm on the plan. I'm gonna build a smoke. That's what I want to do. That's already I want to do.
Hey,
And weld on my bush hog and other stuff. And I have to take it.
take it somewhere.
I got to wear it yesterday.
Like, there's people who get. Yeah, it doesn't happen. Ain't anything. They've been in there an hour?
Brenda, go in there and tell them we're leaving. Yeah. I can't legally go in there, so somebody go knock on the door and say, turn the lights on. If I'm invited, I can. I don't want to be invited.
What you don't want to, right?
It's kind of my theory. that mandatory treasurer training stuff? I don't know that I learned a thing, to be perfectly honest with you. I can tell you, I went Wednesday afternoon, all day Thursday. I didn't go Friday because I didn't have to go Friday. So I came home Thursday when I was done. But breakfast Thursday morning and lunch Thursday morning was awful. I mean, it was cold. It was like they just took it out of the refrigerator and put it on the buffet line. And I know that they took in a lot of money. Of course, it costs a lot of money, I'm sure. But have warm food at least. And that's not much to have. I mean, it's hard to screw up breakfast, scrambled eggs and bacon and hash browns. It's hard to screw that. When you've got cold biscuits and gravy. And the biscuits, we could have played hockey with. They were rather hard. I don't mean to complain, but I am complaining. It was no fun. Very, very boring. As far as I know, I've met all laugh. See, I've been caught in that. Did you ever get that?
Good chairs.
Call the meeting back to order. It is
We
8:22.
discussed personnel issues too, for the record.
For the record, that we're talking about personnel issues, no action was taken. Anything else? Oh, we gotta come out of,
Motion.
I'll second that.
motion second, roll call.
Yes.
Yes. Jimmy?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it. Make a motion, we approve, we adjourn.
Hey, I got one more thing before you go.
You can't, next meeting.
How's
sir.
the,
Bottom of the list.
how's the things going on that list of the houses and stuff?
It's going pretty good. I promise you it is.
Okay.
Why y'all say that for?
Hey, I heard there was like rubble on Broadway. Anybody addressing that?
What?
We pushed it, the city employees got it off the.
No,
city
people.
street.
Oh, yeah.
Sidewalk.
No, listen, people keep stealing that stuff out of there, but on your list that you're talking about. And besides that, I'm waiting on one more agency before I can do anything with it. But anyhow, that list you're talking about, is, we have been dealing with that and working on that. Whoever is asking about it. Was it, who asked me, you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any-
In fact, he and I get a lot of phone calls.
Head on it? I mean,
Need a second to adjourn.
huh?
Need a second.
Second. I will second that.
To adjourn.
Adjourn, yes.
Do we have a roll call?
I'm a yes.
Yes.
Timmy, Johnny, Chase, Alan. Hey, Alan. And Billy.
Yes.
Is it still?
I'll have to get with Brenda. Have you got a copy of it?
Yes.
You need to run with her.
I'll bring you back. But when will this actually, you decide about this?
It's decided on by the city, it's quicker it runs in the paper.
Okay, it's gotta run for.
It's got 30 days, after you publish.
Okay.
So if you got, is that good enough for you to get to publish?
If you could email it to me, I could probably copy this, but if you could.
Rhonda, good to see you.